Yeah, it's a long weekend to sit through after a loss like that as well. Yeah, it didn't sit well. Winning's a lot better. But yeah, it probably exposed a couple of things in our game that are not quite at the level required at the moment. So hopefully it sharpens us up a little bit. We've sort of known for basically the whole 6 weeks that we're not absolutely flying yet. But AFL footy's tough. Even last year when we won 9 in a row, there was some pretty scrappy and scratchy wins, and sometimes you just got to get the 4 points, and that's what a season's about. It's a marathon, so disappointing result on the weekend, and especially in front of our home fans and at the Gabba, we want to sort of put in a lot better display every week, but especially in front of our home fans. But yeah, we'll move on. Long weekend to sit there and stew on it, and hopefully we come out and play with a bit more energy and fire against St Kilda. But they'll be saying the same thing after a big loss themselves, so it should be a good contest at Marvel, where they've been playing some great footy. So it's going to be a tough task, but look forward to getting back out there after, well, that'll be 9 days after we play.
What's the top of your list for sharpening up? You mentioned that there's been a few things sort of bubbling through the 6-week block. What's the area of concern?
Probably contest and clearance has been inconsistent for us this year. We've done it well in halves and in patches, but as a midfield group in particular, we haven't got it done across 4 quarters basically the whole year. So a little bit of method, a little bit of hunger and appetite as well. So there's a mixture of things there, but that's a big one. And then probably defensively as well. We were pretty good the first few weeks. I think we were conceding less scores than the last few weeks. So defensively, our shape and whatnot, we've just been pulled apart a little bit. So we've had a good look at that. It's sort of a little bit of everything in a way. Our offence on the weekend wasn't great, but that hasn't really been an issue too much. So yeah, we just got to tidy up on a couple of things. But I think the contest and clearance stuff is important. Centre bounce is really important in today's game, and we haven't been getting that done as a group, as an inside mid group, well enough. But I think contest forward half and back half as well. It's not just the mids, but the majority of it sort of leads to us.
You looked tired on Thursday night collectively. Is that an accurate assessment, or is that
Yeah, I think so. No, I think that's accurate, and we don't make excuses. Yeah, we clearly weren't up for the fight, and Collingwood came to play, and they looked refreshed and energised, and they had a 6-day break, so it's not like they had a massive break and were fresher than us. We just we lacked that energy and effort required to compete for 4 quarters.
Lachie, never nice when social media criticism and all that sort of stuff. Something you're pretty passionate about and defending.
Yeah, it's become obviously a bit of a habit these days, and a lot of racial stuff, a lot of abuse with players, with their families and kids and stuff that's it's hard to cop, and clearly it's happening across the competition and across society in general, and it's not the biggest issue in society. There are obviously bigger things, but I think, what did I say in my post, the stains, that's sort of like when you spill your coffee on your shirt. It's just annoying and frustrating. It's not a threat to society or anything like that, but I suppose when players cop death threats and things from a game of footy, it gets a bit crazy. So for me, I'm pretty passionate about it because it can affect players and people in general, their mental health and whatnot, and people are able to just create accounts and not sort of have any responsibility to their words. So yeah, there are ways that you can avoid it, but at the same time, there's guys that keep messages and stuff open on social media for good, so commercial opportunities. And after I put that post up, I probably got 300-400 really nice supportive messages from fans and people across the industry, and so there is a lot of good in social media and a lot of good people. There's just 1 or 2% that can really harm, I suppose, people's mental state and create some unrest amongst their families and whatnot. So yeah, it's disappointing. Unfortunately, it's part of the game, but I'd love to see a world where people sort of have to face up to the words that they say, and whether that's, I don't know what you can do about it, but if you have to scan your ID to be able to create an account or something, you don't have to have your actual name there, because there's some reasons that people don't want to do that, but for it to be traced back to you, that it's sort of, that you're held responsible for what you say, because I've never had someone walk up to me, or I don't think any player has had someone walk up to them and say the things that they that some people say online to their face. So yeah, it's disappointing, but it's the world we live in a little bit. But yeah, I don't know much more I can say, but yeah.
What I'd just like to say is that obviously when you're in sports, you have your ups and downs on the field, but you leave the field, you're putting your body on your line for your teammates, the fans, your family. That must make it extra hard.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're just trying to do our job to the best of our ability, like everyone else, I suppose, in any industry. So I know that we're in the public scrutiny more and whatnot, and I suppose for me, I'm more than happy to cop criticism on performance and the team's performance, but when it gets personal and attacks players, families, and themselves as people, I suppose, and some pretty nasty stuff gets said that, like I said before, they would never say to your face. Yeah, that's the disappointing aspect, and everyone's trying to do their best, and I know that they're disappointed people out there, and I don't think a lot of it's, our fans are great, I don't think much of it has come from our fans at all, so I'm sure that they would have in the past, and people say things they regret as well. I know that there's been a couple of instances where I've replied to people that have attacked me, and they've sort of tried more of an educational piece, and they've responded really well to it. So yeah, sometimes people just think we're not human, maybe, but we are.
On the field yesterday, Hawks game, a cracking game, but a couple of big incidents. How important, coming from some of those high shots yesterday, how important is it for the AFL to protect players, particularly, I suppose, players like yourself that make a profession of getting your head over the ball?
Well, I actually haven't seen them.
Oh, okay.
But because we were at training yesterday, so I haven't watched that game. But
there was a couple of high shots, but I suppose generically,
yeah.
How important is it for the AFL, whether it be the judiciary or the officials, to protect the heads of players?
Oh yeah, it's hugely important. I think we're taking the right steps at the moment to protect the players, and we've seen a big shift over the last few years in that space. It's never going to be perfect, but I think that the AFL is doing a pretty good job at protecting the head, and players are starting to become aware of it. Like, I haven't seen anywhere near as many of the sling tackles that we've saw in previous years, and I think players adjust really well too, and even sort of those massive jump and bumps, they're not sort of happening as much anymore. There's always going to be the occasional one where it's split-second decision, but I think as an industry we're moving in the right direction in that space.
You mentioned before about this is going to be a tough game against St Kilda. They won their first three, they've lost their last two. They're obviously going to be trying to avoid 3 losses in a row. You also mentioned about they're playing good football at Marvel Stadium. What sort of challenge does that provide to you guys?
Yeah, it'll be a great challenge. I think they've got some exciting youth and skill as well that make them really hard to defend. Their ball movement's electric at times. So I spoke before about our team defence not being quite up to scratch. That'll be put to the test this week against them under the roof. It'll be perfect conditions. So yeah, it's going to be a big test. And I was obviously coached by Ross for a long time, and his teams are always very hard to play against. So it'll be a great challenge, but we look forward to it. Look forward to getting away as a group as well after the weekend and coming together and trying to turn our form around a little bit as well.
Has the longer break, has it come at a good time?
Yeah, well, for me it has. I've got a little bit crook over the weekend, if you can sort of tell with my voice. Lost my voice a little bit over the weekend, so for me it's been nice to recoup and spend a bit of time with family over Easter, and I think the boys sort of felt the same as well, and it's come at a good time after sort of 6 weeks, even early in the year with the interruptions with the cyclone and things like that. It's been a funny start to the year, and we don't have a proper bye until I think round 16. So after 6 pretty solid weeks, it's been nice to rest for a few days and come back with a bit of energy, and the guys should be up and about today and Thursday for training and put in some good work on the track and be ready to go.
You'd be expecting some attention this weekend, I'd imagine. You normally get that when you play St Kilda personally?
Yeah, Be interesting to see what they do there with Windhager, if they choose to tag or not. I think he's been playing some pretty good footy, just hunting the ball himself as well. So yeah, he's a tough matchup, but we've got some guys like Huey and Will who have been playing some pretty good footy too. In particular, Huey, he's probably been our most consistent midfielder. So if they choose to go anyone, they'd probably be more likely to go to Huey, I reckon, this week. But we'll see how that plays out.
In a few games this year already, whether it's something you can answer, but each year certain variations in playing styles, different sort of things come out. Have you noticed anything different about the way the game's been played this year so far?
I think it's fast. It's getting faster and faster, and especially off turnover, teams are just trying to go through the middle and as quick as they can, and sort of finding that rebound off half back. If you can get turnovers from the middle of the ground to half back, teams are sort of able to slice and dice you pretty quickly if you're not switched on defensively. So I think the game's getting quicker. I still think contests are so important though, because you get territory and can lock the ball in your front half. So although there has been a little bit of a shift with the way teams are attacking off turnover, I still think stoppage and contest is the most important part of the game, and it's an area that we need to get better at. And I think if we can tidy that up, then our game will be in good order too.
So that's something you guys speak about collectively as a team?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, spoken a lot about it yesterday when we came in, about our contest method and stuff that we need to tidy up. So yeah, hopefully you see an improvement over the next couple of weeks.